We're live. 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 Welcome to Witchy Wednesday. I'm Reverend Valerie Love, and I'm coming to you today from Merida, Mexico. Merida, Mexico. That's where we are currently today. Hey, family. Hi, Tina. How you loving? Just talking to Tina on the phone and a yummy chat we just had together. How you loving, Tina? How you loving? Hey, family, hey, family, hey, family. Come on in, come on in. Wow. We're going to talk about the Book of Enoch today. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Mwah, mwah, mwah. How is everyone's holiday? Talk to me, talk to me. Happy Witchy Wednesday, happy Witchy Wednesday. If we have not met, I'm Reverend Valerie Love. How you loving? Look at all of our people. Oh, my God. Mwah, mwah, mwah. I love you. Hi, Jay. How you loving? Jay, I'm coming to you from Merida, Mexico. Oh, you can't hear me? Oh, Lord. Okay, let me. Is everybody else having an issue with the sound? Let me know. Because otherwise, may have to switch to my phone. Finally able to catch me live. Come on, Rihanna. Brian, happy Witchy Wednesday. Darla! How you loving, Darla? How you loving, family? Question. Can you all hear me okay? Can you all hear me? You can hear me, Christina? You know what I realized? I got your spellcrafting book on Monday. Ooh, tell me about it, Pat. Tell me about it. Wait a minute. Let me get up again. Tell me about it, Pat. Tell me about it. OMG. You can hear me? Okay, good. Good, good, good. Jay, you know what? Oh, good. Okay, Jay. We're good. We're good. Rihanna, how you loving? Christina, how you loving? Dan, yeah. How you loving? How you loving? How you loving? Family? Oh my God. Ooh, Lydia, you love the book of Enoch. Me too. Me too. Me too. Me too. So, family, I have to give you something that came to me. This is what came to me. I have to give you something that came to me that is so profound. Listen to this. Walk your path no matter what it looks like, no matter how strange it may seem, no matter what people may say to you, no matter who approves or does not approve, no matter what, do you walk your path and walk it proudly and walk it with your head held high to heaven, knowing that you are following the beat of your own drum that is reverberating through your soul. And whether people get it or don't get it, it's okay. They don't have to get you, baby. They don't have to get you. Why do I say that? First of all, if you're on YouTube, subscribe and smash that like button, baby. You know how we do. Ring the bell so you know when we go live. And if you're on Facebook, oh my God, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. Family, do you. Fluidity does not mean floppy. Come on, baby. You know what I'm talking about. Why do I say that? Here's why I say this. Spirit told me, Christian witch, I was afraid. I didn't want to be marginalized. I was like, I'm going to look like a kook out here in these streets. Spirit, I was having a conversation with my spirit team. For real? And they were reminding me, your soul signed up for this. Oh, yeah, I did. I signed up for this. Yeah, remember? Yeah, but I was very aggressive when I was in heaven coming up with this plan. Talk about. Do you, right, Tina? Do you? So I was very, very afraid. Family, I must be honest with you. I was afraid. I didn't want to seem like a nut. I was in fear of the judgment of other people, which is nothing more than a reflection of the judgment of self. I was needing to be liked, wanting to be approved of, wanting to fit in. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Oh my God, creative lately. Don't we need this message? Because there's so much on the outside world that's telling you not to be the real you. There's so much. And today's message is, do you, boo? Do you? You know what's at the core of your soul. You know that better than anyone else. Do it. You know why you came here. People won't approve. They won't like it. They won't agree with it. They'll want to change you. They'll want to get you onto their thing. All good. You keep doing what you know you came here to do. So, you know what I'm talking about, right, Lynn? You know what I'm talking about? Do you? You know what I'm talking about? Star Nubia! Your gifts are so beautiful, Star Nubia. I have them on my altar, baby. I had them on my altar. You know, oh my God, Mary, thank you. Oh my God, let me look at some of these comments. Thank you, Miss Love, for the awakening. It's been a long time coming. Yes. You know what I mean? Guru, that's why I don't go to church anymore. The pastor acting pastor acting a mess, pastor acting crazy. See, and you cannot fall into the trap of judgment. Love cannot judge. You know what I'm saying? Mariah, yep, I'm still in the broom closet due to the fact that I had to move back in with my parents, and they're old Christians who Bible thump me. I feel you. I feel you. The Bible thumping is real, family. The Bible thumping is real. And they used to take that Bible and smack me with it good every time you turned around, right? Let's go to Megan. My mama always said to me, fitting in is boring. Be weird, be you, and stand out because you are a beautiful thing. Wow, Megan, that's a beautiful message to receive from your mom, isn't it? Guru, my soul this year really took a sharp U-turn and said, okay, I need to stop that hellfire damnation BS. Wow. Wow. You know, because what I have discovered is that people who are not on their own path, people who have been told what to do and are in the straitjacket, they will try to shame you back into your straitjacket. Don't listen to them. They will try to judge you and shame you and terrorize you back into a straitjacket. No, no, no. But I read somewhere in the word that says, if you've been free, don't go back and make yourself a slave again, because when the sun sets you free, you are indeed free. Don't make yourself a slave again. I'm not making myself a slave again after Spirit set me free. Spirit set you free for a reason, right? Oh my God, Christina. Fitting in, I feel like they want me to be normal. I think normal is insulting, isn't it though? And we didn't come here to be normal, did we? I came all the way out, and I don't care who knows it. It's my time. Ooh, come on. I love it. I love it. Megan, my mama. Oh, yes, we did that's beautiful. Now, here's why I say this. So I'm following my soul. And you know, following your soul is like walking through the darkness, feeling your way. It's like this. Okay, soul. Like, do you really know where you're going? No. Do you really know what it's going to look like? No. Do you know the who, the what, the where, the why, the when, or the when? No. All you know is the what. I must do what I came here to do. And why? Because that's my only fulfillment. That's my deepest fulfillment. That's why. You know this. You know this is your deepest and greatest fulfillment, right? Christina. Hey, Terry. Exactly. I love being the beautiful disaster I was born to be. Come on. Yes to beautiful disasters, baby. Yes to beautiful disasters. Lydia, I was a judger too. So was I. I was in the cult of Jehovah's Witnesses, heavy judgment. I was a judger too. I grew up Pentecostal, and we were told to judge those that were not. It was all right until Spirit set me free. Wow. And you know what? When Spirit sets you free, and you're no longer in judgment, and you're no longer afraid of judgment, and you're no longer bringing judgment, and you're no longer ruled by judgment, and you're no longer ruled by fear, and you realize that all the shit they made up about God just ain't true, God gonna get you. God is like, I don't think so. God has a book in heaven, and if your name's not in it, you're not written in the book of life. Preach, Pastor. That's what we were saying. Preach, Pastor. Well, maybe not. Maybe it is not quite like we received the story. And this is not to bash on churches. I say it all the time. This is not to bash on any spiritual path. This is to say you must follow your path, which is different from everyone else's path. And I agree that religion, it can be the opium of the masses if you use it as a drug. If you use religion as a drug, you're taking another hit to the arm every Sunday, you're going to be out of luck because your soul is not going to stand for that. So, I love it. Yeah, religion could be the opium of the masses. So you got to disconnect that. Don't listen to other people. Please don't even take everything that I say as gospel, because nothing I say is gospel. Not one word I say is gospel. All I do is share my learnings. That's it. I don't have no gospel. I've got zero gospel. Danielle, how you love it? I don't have your answers. All the best I can do is search diligently and be in my soul's journey and share with you what happened. That's the best I can do. I can't give it to you. You get it for you, right? I'm here to inspire. I'm here to uplift. If you want to jump up and do it, do it. If you don't, beautiful, you cannot. You're still loved. It doesn't matter. You're still loved. You're still adored by this great universe of life. Why do we think we're not loved? You're so loved, whether you get up and do it or don't do it. This universe runs on love, baby. It runs on love. Woo! When I discovered that, I was like, well, let me just be in the love. Yep. And it'll work out. Somehow it will work out, baby. Somehow to work out, right? So, Lydia says, oh, hold on. Let me get Lydia. Lydia says, yes, follow my path. Thank you, Spirit. I know that's right. Come on, Derry. I'm here to share my knowledge and experience to show tolerance, love, and support. That is beautiful. That is beautiful. Tina, you can't find your spirit following someone else's. Ain't that the truth? Isn't that the truth? And you know, deep inside we know it. But what happens is we get afraid because it's very terrifying to walk your own path because no one else is doing it. You'll have to step away from the masses, right? I had to step away from the cult. The cult said, do this, we do this. It was lockstep. Everybody was walking in lockstep. It was a big old army. You step out of the army, wait a minute. Where are you going? Because first of all, what the witnesses tell you is that if you leave here, you're going to lose three things. One, you lose God, because we got God. How insane is that? You got all of God in one religion? Now, you know that has to be a lie. You got all of God in one religion. Wow. Wow, it's amazing how God took sides. Wow. Secondly, you're going to lose all your family because they told your family to turn their back on you if you leave. And thirdly, you're going to lose all your community of friends because they told you don't have any friends outside of the whole witness cult. Doesn't this sound like the setup of an abuser? An abuser or some kind of predator. A predator will get a prey alone or away from the pack. So you'll lose your whole community and everyone that you care for and everyone that you love because they're all going to turn their backs on you too. Isn't that something? So with that kind of framework, why would you ever leave and set out on your own soul's journey and go on the hero's quest? The quest that is your soul that's calling you. Your soul is calling you on the hero's quest. But it's like, wow, I'm going to go into the woods? Yes. I don't know what's in the woods. Right. But it's safe over here. You don't want safe. But I'm in control here. I got this whole thing settled down. No, you don't want to be in control. I don't want to be in control. No, you don't want to be in control. This is what Spirit is saying to you. It's like, oh man, how does this thing work? Because the thing works exactly the opposite of how they told you the thing works. All right, let's go to Courtney. Courtney, how do I know when I find my spirit to follow? I'm a beginner. Please help. I love it, Courtney. I got your answer. I got your answer, Courtney. I got it. Now, So following the call of my soul, this is what has occurred in 2020. When the world was melting down and, this was happening and this was happening, it's like, wow. And here I am, I'm a nomad. That means I travel all over. Right now I'm coming to you from Merida, Mexico, beautiful Merida, Mexico. Ooh, it's so beautiful here. And as I was traveling this year in 2020, I was writing because I've been writing all my life. So I'm a writer, and the word from God to me is write and speak. Write and speak. So that's what I do. Keep it real simple for myself. I like things simple. And so I wrote and I wrote and I wrote. And next thing you know, this book, How to Be a Christian Witch, was written. And I'm going to tell you something. This book was written in less than 30 days. This book was written, published, and out to the world in less than 30 days, written in New Orleans. Next, I kept writing and writing and writing. Actually, before that one came out, this one came out, The Christian Witch's Manifesto, which I just tuned it up and it's back out again. Next, spell crafting for the Christian witch. This is a compendium of magic. Do you see how big this book is? And I tell you one thing, the next book, Magical Prayers for the Christian Witch, because I have not yet found prayers that are suitable for a person who loves Christ and who practices magic. And now we have a whole book of magical prayers. Oh my God. Now, when you go on Amazon, you will see that this is a series in Christian witchcraft. It's actually a series in Christian witchcraft. And yes, we'll be doing in 2021, we'll be doing audiobooks. And one of the books, Spellcrafting, is even going to be in hardcover. So you can get them right now, ebook and hardcover. I say this to you not to say buy all the books. Buy them if you like. If they work for you, buy them. By all means, buy them. By all means, please do leave a review. By all means, do share them. I'm sharing this with you today on a deeper level to say, answer the call of your soul, because you don't know where God is taking you. You don't know what it's going to look like. You don't know what's going to happen. I only can tell you it's going to be good. It's going to be so freaking delicious. And you know what? It's going to fulfill like nothing else can. Boo, look at me. You keep trying to find fulfillment in food, sugar, ice cream. I did it. Sex, drinking, smoking weed, whatever your thing is. You're not going to find your ultimate fulfillment and happiness until you are on the destiny call of your soul. That's where all your fulfillment is, all your money, all your deliciousness, all your people, all the teams, all the support. That's where it is. Maybe you're over here and all the deliciousness is over here waiting for you to come over here, baby. You got to be aligned. How? Follow your heart. Just do what your soul came here to do. All right. I'm currently a Catholic, and over the summer I discovered witchcraft. Ooh, I went to practice, but my family is heavily Catholic, and I love the idea of being Christian witch. Yay! Well, to all our beautiful Christians, we have a lot of Catholic witches in this community. And I got to tell you, it's easy. I wish I was kind of Catholic rather than JW, because I find it easier to become a witch from Catholic, because Catholic already has the magic and the mysticism and the rituals and the robes and the holy water. And, most of the people that practice magic were priests because they had all the accoutrement and they could read. So Catholic, I think it's an easier jump from Catholic to witch and to integrate them than it is to go from Pentecostal, holiness, sanctified, or even evangelical, or going even further into the other dark abyss, the cult of Jehovah's Witnesses. So, here's one thing that I've learned. All of us, and let me read the rest of it, Ariana. Let's see what Ariana. I know my family won't accept me being witch, so I feel like I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place. Ooh, I know that feeling. Whew. That's the nexus of your greatness. That's the sweet spot. Actually, it feels like being between a rock and a hard place. And I tell you, that's probably one of the best places you could be, because there's a place that it forces you to make a decision and choose for your soul. Choose for your heart and soul. Like I know what I've been told. Family, I love you. Catholic family, I love you. Thank you for all you've given me. You can't be rebellious on this journey, right? I went through a rebel phase. It didn't help me. It didn't really serve. It didn't serve me and the people that were around me in the highest and greatest vibration of love. So what I did was thank you. Thank you for all you've given me. I've got to do this for me. I've got to do this for my soul. Yes, that's what you do, Ariana. And I can't tell you how to do it. I can only be the inspiration and the fire, fan the fire for you to do it. You're going to do it in your own unique way. Holly, yes, I believe God brought me to you. Oh my God, to your message, like-minded people. Yes, well, welcome to this community. Because I tell you one thing, in this community, we accept everybody, we love on everybody, and everybody is welcome. As long as you come in peace and you're coming to add something powerful and delicious to the conversation that we're having today about the angels that got stolen out the Bible. What is happening? Let's go to Gretchen. Gretchen, hey, have you considered doing a podcast? Yes. Yes. If you already have, what's it called? I love listening to your wisdom while doing chores, and I walk around like, amen, mama, preach. I love that, Gretchen. Yes, we are definitely going to do a podcast coming up soon. It's going to be the Christian Witches podcast. We have not started it yet, and I've been wanting to do that for so long. So yes, it's coming. Yay! Thank you too, Gretchen, for listening, for being here. I appreciate you. I love you. I love you. Lydia, yes, you may have a point about the move into true spirituality. Yes. All right, let's go to Nijuran. I hope I'm saying that right. Metatron Enoch is so awesome to work with. Thank you for talking about this. Oh my God. I love it. I love it. I love it. I feel you. We got this though, right, Riri? Riri, we got this. We got this. All right. Let's go to the angels. So I make notes in my book because when you get the Christian Witches Manifesto, it has blank pages in the back where you can take grimoire notes. It has grimoire notes where you can write some grimoire notes. And it also has places where you can write some other answers to some questions about being a Christian witch and how that would work for you and what that would look like for you, because it's different for each person. So let's talk about these angels. Now, first of all, first thing I want to say is that it's about to get real in here. Are we ready? Because it's about to get real. Sometimes I still get mad, and I shouldn't say mad. I get irritated. Well, yeah. Let's call it mad, rage, irritation, whatever, at the audacity of people who think that they can tell us what the Bible is and what the Bible is not, and what's inspired of God and what's not, and what's authoritative and what's not, and that we're supposed to all go along with that. Wow. I got to work with myself because sometimes I still get heated up about that. Like, how in the world did they think that they were just going to co-opt the whole thing and tell us what to believe? But hey, it's still happening to this day. People are still trying to get the masses to believe what they want them to believe. And your job is to keep your head. What does that mean? Your job is to study to show thyself approved. Your job is to go on your own independent search for truth. Your job is to come home to the truth within yourself. That's your job. Study, listen, then come to your own conclusions. Never let people just give you these beliefs, right? And just be like, here's what you believe. Here it is. Well, can I examine for myself? Can I make my own choices? Yes, and God said you get to make your own choices. God gave you authority and dominion over yourself. Aisha, I'm new here and just found you. Yay! Welcome. This is in alignment with what I felt for years. I've always known I'm a witch. Yes! Come on in, baby. Come on in. Come on in. The water is just fine. So, by the way, if you're struggling right here in how to be a Christian, in spell crafting for the Christian witch, I give you a spell, and it's the exact spell I use, and I'll tell you exactly what it is, and it helped me bust out. It helped me bust out. Here is the spell. It is called the Christian witch integration spell. So here are the spells here. This one is called the Christian witch integration spell. Hopefully you can see it and you see what it was that I did for the spell. And you'll also see what happened. It was the spell to come home to the truth within myself that I didn't have to throw away Christ or the craft. That's what happened. Okay, 1 Corinthians chapter 12:10. The first spiritual gift mentioned is working of miracles, which is synonymous with making magic. Heck, Matthew 2 talks about an alliance between the Magi and Jesus. In my view, Jesus was a Jewish Magi. Come on, Bruce. Love it. You know, Bruce, you know what I love about this message, this comment, Bruce? I love that it's an intelligent add to the conversation. See, we just block people that come in and be like, which is evil, thou shalt not suffer which to live. They're just robots created by the church. Like, we're having a true, real discussion here about matters of the soul, and we're examining scripture, and we're examining our own spiritual path so that we can come to truth and understanding within ourselves and free ourselves. That's all, and become God. So when people just run in and say something stupid and offhand in a conversation that's about matters of the soul, boo, you got to go. Boy, bye. So thank you, Bruce, for bringing intelligence, all of you, for bringing real, beautiful intelligence to this conversation. Because this is a conversation that we're having from a multidimensional perspective, because when you look at it from many different perspectives, we all learn and grow. So that's why I listen to people, I share, and I listen, because we're all, working out our soul's unfoldment. And you may have something for me, and I may have something for you. It's a conversation, right? This is not a preaching a message. Even though I'm an ordained minister, I'm not preaching to nobody. I'm not preaching. This is not a sermon, right? I must spread these findings. Oh, Anayu, thank you so much. And Riri said, if I speak anything different from what they believe, they have a problem if you speak anything different from what they believe. And I desire for us to be able to have conversation that is not mean, argumentative, judgmental, damning, or insulting. That you and I can see things differently. And I ought to be able to say to you what I see, and you ought to be able to say to me what you see, and we ought to be able to make a symphony of that. You see, we don't have if you go to the Philharmonic, you don't have just horns, you don't have just strings, you don't have just the piano. You have piano, you have horns, and the horns have different horns. And in the strings, you have different strings. If God wanted everybody to think the same way and be the same way, God would have created one person, and then that would have been everybody on the planet would look exactly like that one person. There's diversity for a reason. You get to pick and choose what you are going to stand for. You get to choose that. And then share with us, how did you come to those conclusions? What was going on for you? And then we can all learn and grow and be uplifted. Yes? This craziness about arguing over God, it's got to go. That's so Middle Ages. That's so Middle Ages. That's so Crusades. When people were actually killing people in the name of God. I don't think so. Let's talk about Enoch. Now, I love Enoch. Love Enoch. So let's talk about what we know about Enoch. Enoch did not die, right? Enoch was translated. So what does that mean? He was translated on the word of God, and Elijah did not die either. Elijah was translated as well. They didn't experience physical death. They just went up. Enoch went up and was elevated because of his very powerful work on earth in behalf of humanity. So we'll talk about that in a moment. And Elijah, he did not die either. He was translated in a fiery chariot. So we know the story of Elijah, that Elijah went up and he left his cloak fell to Elisha. That means Elijah we won't go into the Elijah story right now. Basically, this is saying that there were two people in the Bible that did not die. They simply were translated. They simply went up, okay? And the way I look at it in a quantum physics way is that if you look at the Kabbalistic tree of life, we understand that the energy continues to densify until we have form. Comes from the nothingness or dark matter, right? Dark energy, where everything comes from. The quantum, the vast field of infinite possibilities where everything is until you pull it out and you densify the energy down into some tangible form like a phone. This existed only in someone's imagination. This was in the quantum. How do we get this out of the quantum down here into the third dimensional reality? Well, we use magic for that. And what is magic? Magic is understanding exactly what it is that you desire to create. You're forming a template for it, a blueprint for it, and you see it even before it exists, and you feel it and you know it. And kids do magic all the time. You do magic all the time, right? And you're giving it a form in your mind. This is all happening in your mind, in consciousness, and then you speak words. And what are words? Words are energy patterns. And you're sending out this energy, and it goes into the quantum. It begins to move the spheres. It begins to move the dimensions. And in the dimensions of the energy, you're drawing energy down. And here comes the energy, and it's forming according to the mold that you have for it in your mind. You're doing this all the time. This is alchemy. You're born to do this. You're a creator. You do this without even thinking. You say, I sure would like some chocolate. Somebody shows up with some chocolates. You just did magic. It happens all the time. It's natural. It's natural. Okay? So if we were believing, right? If we were in a place where we could really believe that we wouldn't die, you probably wouldn't die. Because there's no limits for an infinite being of God, a child of God like you. There's no limits other than the limits that we subscribe to and believe and put our energy on. So, Enoch, he had all these conversations with angels. So now let's talk about the angels that he was having conversations with. He knew of the 7 archangels of the presence. Now, these 7 archangels of the presence, very specific beings who are mentioned also in Revelation. Yet, the whole rest of the Bible doesn't talk about these 7 archangels. It only talks about 2. And it only calls one an archangel, Michael. It doesn't even call Gabriel an archangel, which Gabriel is an archangel. But the Bible doesn't call Gabriel an archangel. The first angel that it mentions is Archangel Michael in relationship to his war against, the forces of evil or whatever you want to call it, right? That's a whole nother discussion for another day. We're talking about the 7 archangels, and I will give you their exact names and tell you what their names mean now. And you can find this for yourself. By all means, go ahead and do yourself a nice service of going and studying the Book of Enoch. I will give you one of the best places where I love to study the Book of Enoch, and that is the pseudepigrapha. So go to pseudepigrapha.com. Pseudepigrapha.com. Now, pseudepigrapha is spelled PSEUDIGRAPHA.com. I believe that's the proper way to spell it. However, it does start with a P. So the P is silent, as in psychology. So pseudepigrapha.com. And when you go to pseudepigrapha.com, what I love about it is that it has all these books listed out, supposedly spurious books, non-canonical books, non-authoritative books that are good and interesting to read, but not inspired by God. Well, I don't think any human can tell me that. You'll have to make that decision for yourself, right? Ooh, you're giving me goosebumps. Come on. Come on, Courtney. This is some serious stuff right here. And I am telling you that if someone tells you not to read something, or if someone tells you it's not of God, that ought to be the first red flag right then and there, baby. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. If you tell this hoe right here not to read something, well, I'm not a hoe no more, but anyway. I digress. You tell this woman right here not to read something, oh, I'm going straight to it. Because that's a signal to me that there is something that you are not wanting me to read, and you probably don't want me to read it because it's not in alignment with the story that you're trying to tell me. And if I go and I read it, I'm going to start to see the cracks in what you're trying to get me to believe. So nope, I'm not going for it. So Enoch was a very, 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 what's the word I want to use? Ascended kind of being. Okay. So Enoch lived during the time when we know the story, the watchers, these were angels, heavenly beings that were supposed to watch over humanity, to take care of humanity, and they were supposed to be our guardians, I guess you could call it. Well, the watchers started looking at the women. We know the story, right? And the women were so beautiful. That's why Paul said to women to cover their heads, because, he was giving a reference to the Book of Enoch, to cover your heads lest the angels become ensnared and seduced. This has been a long ongoing story, and you find this story in almost all the religions. You find this story of being enchanted by the beauty of women, which it's real. That is real. So, and if you don't know about the enchanting wiles of women, not just women, sirens, uh, many sailors talk of sirens, that they were so enchanting and so irresistible that literally they wanted to tie, they told, one captain told his people, tie him to his ship with ropes, because he would not be able to resist the enchanting allure. And we've all fell into an enchantment. We've all fallen. This is not even something that we have to argue. Everybody's been enchanted by something. If you haven't been enchanted by Nicki Minaj, you've been enchanted by Rihanna. If you haven't been enchanted by Rihanna, you've been enchanted by Beyonce. We have many enchantresses. So this whole idea of cover all that up because you might get us, that's real. And so what it says to me is that we're not supposed to cover it up so that you can't resist. You're responsible for yourself. You're responsible for not being caught by an enchantress. Don't tell the enchantress don't be beautiful and enchanting, because I can't take it. That's what they used to do in the witness world. Don't wear short skirts. It's too much for the brothers to handle. Look, I'm not in charge of your mind. If you can't take looking at my legs, then you have a problem. Okay, I'm not talking about going in up in the middle of church with no hoochie mama gear on. I'm not talking about that. I'm also saying that we're not going to, this whole idea of we've got to cover and shroud this beauty because it's too much for us and you're going to lead us astray. No, you got to take responsibility for your own damn self if you get led astray. So the story in Enoch was that the angels, the watchers, right, these angels, they got so intrigued by these beautiful women, and they said, we're gonna go down there, we're gonna have these women for ourselves. So that's what they did, right? So they all came down, right? Not all of them, a bunch of them. They say 200 of them came down. So 200 of them came down, and they began to, take these women as wives. Now, the thing about these angels is these watchers, of course, they can transfigure themselves, right? They're shapeshifters, so they can shift. And the Bible talks about this all the time. Bible is always talking about shape-shifting, because the angels are always shifting into some kind of form, some kind of acceptable form for the person to be able to talk to them when they're talking to them. So when they came to Abraham, Abraham saw them as men. He was like, oh, come on in. And they were like, hey, this is the deal. You're going to have a kid, blah, blah, blah. And then they vanished and disappeared. And it's like, oh my goodness, we're in the presence of angels, right? So angels are always shape-shifting into different forms. Well, after they came down and had sex with these women, the women got pregnant. But of course, the children would not be humans, right? Of course, the children are going to be sons of the gods. Does this sound familiar? Does this sound like the Greek myths? All the Greek myths, that you got part human, part God as your genome. This is a story that we've heard recurring. This is not just in the Bible, right? So anyway, they come down, and then the babies were giants, right? The Nephilim. Now, this is also spoken of in the Sumerian tablets where we read about the Anunnaki. All of this is all over the ancient world. This was all considered very normal. Like we are the ones that are so technologically, supposedly so caught up in technology that we no longer believe in magic and animals that can speak and shape shifting and angels coming in. But this used to be normal for people. This now we're like, oh, we don't believe that. We're scientists. We're scientific. Okay, whatever. Now I love science as well, and I also know that there's magic. And that's not a question. Do I wonder if there's magic? I know there's magic. That's not a question. Now, next, what happened after this? Enoch. Oh, this is just going outrageous. This is just becoming out of control. Enoch is talking to the angels. We got to do something about this. He's a holy, pious man. The power of one pious man or woman or whomever, right? It shows you that your life matters. Because even one person in the midst of all this craziness going on, the Nephilim, the giants, they're going around just wreaking havoc on everything. Now, here's where it gets very interesting. The angels that came down and mated with the women taught the women skills. They taught them sorcery, astrology, herbology, plant medicine, healing, the ways of the stars, suns, moons, winds, the elements, the tides, the rivers, taught them all of that. Metallurgy. Metallurgy came from these ascended beings, angels, who were the watchers over humanity, who had this specialized knowledge that humans didn't have. Humans didn't know what gold was. When they found out, they started fighting over it. It just went amok, right? Humans didn't know what copper was. Humans didn't know what iron was. Humans did not understand jewels, precious metals. They didn't know they were in the ground. What prehistoric human would have dug deep enough in the ground, found a raw diamond, and realized that if they cut it just so, what were they going to cut it with? If they cut it just so, they would be able to get this pristine, beautiful thing of rare beauty and value. How would they have found out all these things? How would they have found out that all this did they just discover it? How did they find it? No, no, no. This is all knowledge, divine knowledge that was now given to people. And supposedly, people weren't supposed to have this information. This was not supposed to be information that was just mass given, just giving all the secrets of heaven. These angels are out of control. They were just telling the secrets of heaven, and the good angels, the seven that I'm going to give you the names for, they were like, what? No, 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 no. This is a betrayal because God did not intend for all the humans to get all this knowledge before they had an awareness and consciousness of what this knowledge was for. And this is the same thing now. If you get knowledge, if people get knowledge before they know what to do with it, they just make a mess. You're not ready for that yet. It's just like a toddler. You don't give a toddler a frying pan and ask them to make you some eggs. They don't have that knowledge yet, nor are they ready to handle that knowledge. And when your consciousness is hit with knowledge that you are not ready for, it has an effect on your consciousness that is could be disorienting. I've even seen people lose their sanity over getting access to some higher order knowledge that they were not so yet trying to be privy to, yet they spoke with some entities. This is why I always talk to angels as versus demons. Now you can talk to demons if you want. Demons just these falling beings that have all this information. They have information about everything. They have information about cooking. I mean, I promise you, anything you want to learn, there is a being that will teach you about it. Herbs, plants, trees, I don't care what it is you want to learn about. You can get this specialized information if you know who to turn to. However, I never felt inclined to turn to the lower order beings who fell down, which you can conjure them. I mean, there's so many magic books, you can conjure all these beings. You draw a circle, get all the right accoutrement, get the right words, get the right timing, get the right place where they're located, get the right sigil, get the right name, get what you're calling them for, do your protocol. You can conjure any one of these beings. I never wanted to talk to them about these divine secrets and mysteries because I found that they would give you this information, yet it would not be in alignment with your spiritual development. Whereas if you get the information from angels, it's in alignment with the whole cosmic divine plan. See, uh, these renegades, right, rebels, they're just doing whatever. That's why it's a problem. It's not a problem for you to know sorcery or for you to know astrology. It's a problem if that is not in alignment with your soul's unfoldment. There's an order for this thing. Maybe you're 3 and you're getting the secrets of sorcery. You're just going to fry yourself and other people. We don't know what the age of the soul is. That's why I love working with angels, because they're always going to keep you in alignment with your own soul's unfoldment as you receive the divine mysteries and secrets, and you're always going to receive the divine mysteries and secrets at the perfect time for you. Let's go to the 7 archangels. So these renegade angels, they doing this thing. The earth is not what God intended. And so what happens next, right? What happens next? What happens next is Enoch praying. There's always someone that's praying, right? There's always someone very ascended who just wants to do the right thing for humanity. I love that, right? In these stories. So here comes Enoch. And so Enoch is praying. Of course, he's pious, he's holy. He has not, taken part in any of the unrighteousness going on the planet. And so therefore he has access to heaven realms, and he's talking to the angels in here, and the angels are talking to him. And the 7 archangels get together and say, we got to tell God about this. Now, according to the story, the noise was rising so much from the earth, because the earth started off as a garden. It's very beautiful, it's very peaceful in that part of the world, right? The garden. And then all of a sudden, it's just a whole lot of ruckus. And what the angels are saying is that the noise has now reached the gates of heaven, like the outcry is going up. So these 7 angels, the archangels of the presence, who stand in the presence of God. Do you understand what that means? These 7 are in the presence of God. Goddess, I am the all, the one. Now, I'm not talking about sky gods. I don't believe in sky gods. And I'm not talking about God being a man. That's not my jam. I'm talking about the source. I'm talking about source, right? These 7 angels are right there in the presence of source at all times, unless they go to an assignment. Well, the 7 decide that they are going to do something about this. So they go to God. God, something terrible is happening on the planet. God's like, yeah, sure is. We got to do something about this. What are you proposing? We propose get rid of all these people. We need to wash the whole thing clean. We need to start fresh. This thing is a mess. God's like, well, what do you have in mind? Angels like something dramatic. The Bible is so dramatic. Rain from heaven, floods. Because if we send fire, well, that's going to just kind of burn up the whole place, make it a crisp. That's a problem. We don't want fire. We don't want everything burned to like a shred. I'm going to write a book about this one day. And well, what about, we can't just blow them all off the planet. We could take all the gravity away from the planet for a while. Everybody just fly off into space, but flood. So wash. We're going to wash the planet. We're going to wash the whole world. Start from scratch. So Uriel, one of the 7, let's give you the 7 right now, and then tell you what Uriel did, and how he came in contact with Noah. Michael. These are the 7 archangels that are not in the Bible. They're just clean Clean, stole 5 straight out. Just stole them. That's the way I look at it. That's why this video is titled, Who Stole the 5 Angels Straight Out the Bible? How do you even steal archangels? How do you do that? Anyway, Michael. We know his name means who is like God. Gabriel. Now, Gabriel always sort of had this feminine energy to me. We know archangels are asexual. They don't have penises and vaginas. We can get that stuff out of our heads. And also archangels, they're not these people walking around with these long flowing robes and this long blonde hair. Singing all these songs with jewels dripping. That's not it. Like we're just so strange in our ideas about angels. And I write about that in this book, what angels really are, so that when you approach and you're about to do your angel magic, you get this straight. Okay. Raphael. Healer of God. We know that Raphael is the healer of God. And we also know that Raphael is the totem or the patron saint of all the people who are healers. Uriel, his name means fire of God. Literally, his name is Ur-Ra-El. Ra. Where do you recognize Ra from ancient Egypt? Ra means light, the sun, God, right? The battery. God is associated with light. So Uriel means the fire of God or the light of God. Raguel. Raguel is also known as Cialtiel. Here's how you spell it. Raguel is also known as Cialtiel. It means friend of God. Yes, part of it is written in shorthand because I do write shorthand. So if you see something here that you don't understand, it's not hieroglyphics, it's just shorthand. Number 6, Zerachiel. Zerachiel is also known as Serachiel, Baruchel, Salathiel, or Sariel. It means God's command. Lastly, Remiel, also known as Jeremiel, Jehudiel, Jeremiel. It means the thunder of God, or the mercy of God, or the compassion of God. So these angels get together and they're like, hey, we got to get this thing cleaned out. Monstrous wheels, aren't they? Aren't they? That is the truth. Angels are monstrous wheels. They're monstrous. Monstrous. They say that there was one angel in the book of, I believe it was Kings, who was sent to kill 185,000 Assyrians in one night. He killed 185,000 people in one night and didn't think anything of it. So angels can be these huge slaughter people too, mass murderers, assassins. You see a lot of angels being assassins. Why? Because for an angel, being an assassin is not a bad thing. We have a judgment on assassins. When an angel, this is just what the angels told me. This is what the angels told me. And I was like, oh, when an angel assassinates someone, they are liberating the soul from that body. Isn't that profound? So it's not like we're like death. Oh my God, there's no such thing as death. It's just life and greater life. Nobody ever dies. You're an immortal being. So when an angel assassinates a person, they're just liberating the person from that body. I'm doing it like that because the angel showed me that it's like a cutting. They cut that cord, which is your spinal cord, right, going all the way down. All of the ancient mysteries speak of this. They speak of a golden bowl, which is this crown. They speak of a cord, which is your spinal cord, where the Kundalini energy rises. All traditions speak of this. This is the cord that tethers your soul to the body. And all they do is cut the tether. And then, boom, you're liberated. That wasn't a bad thing. They're liberated, okay? That's right. Doesn't mean they're bad. Absolutely. I love that. So Tara, from what I've learned, angels aren't owned by any god. I imagine they can work with various gods, but they do things their own free will. Very nice. Just because they look scary monstrous doesn't mean they're bad. Just who they are. Thank you. Love that. That's why they can change their visual form to look humanoid when they don't want to spook. Love that. We were just talking about that a minute ago. Absolutely. I had an angel encounter many years ago. It still gives me goosebumps today. Isn't this profound? So these angels, they come, they say, okay, we got to put this to stop. So it was determined that this was going to be all put to a stop, of course, by the great flood. Now, this great flood did not happen like they say it in the Bible. You know, Noah, it's a cute story. Noah, two cobras, two turtle doves, two lions, two elephants, two hippopotamus, two locusts, two cockroaches. Stop it. No. No, 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 no. See, that's why science looks at religious zealots as nuts and why people are atheists. Because who would believe that? Who would believe that you had a big long boat and you put two giraffes on it with two lions? What would the lions eat? You had two tigers. What were the tigers eating? The rabbits and the opossum, the rabbits, the lions will look around like, this is a good deal because by the time this whole thing is over, all y'all gonna be gone. No. This is not a literal story, people. This is not a literal story. However, as with all myths, fables, legends, allegories, and metaphors, there is a seed of truth in it. And what is that seed of truth? About 14,000, 12, 13,000 BC, about 14, 15,000 years ago, there was a great catastrophic flood around the whole world, and it sunk Atlantis and many other places. There was this great, it could have been that a meteor or something hit the earth. But we do know that even science tells us this. See, science is matching up with spirit and spirituality. It's just that the spirituality people, they had a metaphorical spiritual way of saying the things that science was saying. A meteor hit us, the Arctic shelf slipped, melted, went into the ocean, the whole thing flooded. Of course, that's a boring story, right? We have a very, wonderful prose, poetic way of saying that it had something to do with the gods, right? To elementary people, everything has something to do with the gods. A drought, the gods don't love us anymore, let's sacrifice a virgin. But we understand a drought is not because God. It's not where droughts come from, people. That God doesn't love you. We gotta sacrifice a virgin. All the virgins that have died because we had droughts and we had floods and we had, back in the day, they appease the God. Go to the top of a volcano, throw in a virgin. Are you appeased? And then back away. I don't want to laugh at our forebears because they were just doing the best they could. They were just trying to get some order in the world. But I mean, hey, people, drought don't come because God just struck somebody with drought. It doesn't make sense. This is not for thinking people. So we understand that these metaphors, they mean something, right? So Uriel goes to Noah in the story, and he is now going to help Noah understand all about that there's a flood coming and that there is going to be, destruction. Now, there is part of truth to this story. There was a great flood around the whole world. As a matter of fact, when we go to Sedona, you can see in the strata of the mountains the water level, where the water was, and now it's all dry. You can see it. This is not anything that we're making up, right? Oh my goodness, I love this story. I love this story. It's so cute. Look, Tara Durr. Oh my God, I have so much fun with this stuff because you know what is amazing about it? What's amazing about it, like the Black Virgin candle. Why was it always that they had to sacrifice a virgin? If I was a virgin, I would be like, look, they don't want me because I'm unclean. I'm getting all of y'all dudes tonight because they ain't sacrificing me. I'd have had sex with everybody in the village. Shoot, I know how they stay alive up in here because they're looking for virgins. But I digress. Anyway, now, so what happened? Uriel goes and he tells Noah that this is what's going to happen, right? That there's going to be this big catastrophic deluge. However, Uriel did not give all of the, supposedly did not give all of the exact measurements to Noah, because supposedly that came in the book of Raziel. Okay, Raziel, the angel, Raziel. This angel is the archangel of um, magic and mysticism. And there's a book, the book of Raziel, the angel. And supposedly in this book, he gave Noah many secrets to how you could survive something like that, basically. But you know, the story we got is he built a big boat and da 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 da. Okay, so we must understand these things are metaphors, and we cannot continue to believe childish things that have been proven not so by science. And I'm not saying that science is the arbiter of what I believe in matters of faith. It's not. What I'm saying is that there are some things that have been proven. It's almost like when we were in back in the day, and when that it was discovered that the earth did not, everything did not revolve around the earth. Galileo, supposedly Galileo, right, told us that we revolve around the sun. The sun is the center of this galaxy, and that Earth and the other planets are in an orbit around the Earth. What did they do to Galileo? They killed him. Well, they tortured him first, and they put him under house arrest. And the church did this. You better recant that, because we're the center of the universe. I don't care how much praying you do, you're not going to make Earth the center of the universe. It's not going to happen, right? So that's astrological uh, understanding. That's physics. That's quantum theory. That's, you know, and if you look at the planets, we haven't mapped out all the heavens. Yet there are some things that we do understand, and we know that everything don't revolve around us and our idiocy. That's what we thought. And so people were killed over that. People were killed over foolishness and things that later on we discovered, oops, my bad. Just like they killed many witches over things like that. Now, let's end with this. When did the whole idea of Enoch get taken out of the, I don't want to say taken out of the Bible, because the Bible hadn't been formed yet. Enoch, the book of Enoch, was written hundreds of years before Christ. They say somewhere around maybe as old as 300 BC. And they did not come up with the actual Bible canon until, write this date down, 382 AD, which would be over 300 years after Christ, close to 400 years after Christ. And Pope Damascus oversaw the Council of Rome. And what was that council? That council was where they were going to say, okay, what's going to be in the Bible? Because before, we didn't have a big book that's like a Bible. Books didn't exist, right? The Gutenberg press hadn't been invented yet. So there was no such thing as a Bible. There were scrolls. There were books. There were some books that they were so holy, and people just said that they just came straight from God. They were believed in. They were talked about. They were discussed among the Jewish people and among the people, not Christian people, because there were no such thing as Christian people until later, okay? It could not have been Christian people. The word Christian wasn't even made up. It was not a thing, okay? It wasn't such a thing. People who followed this Yeshua person. And there were many different people that followed Yeshua, many different competing strands of Christianity, I guess we could say, after Yeshua passed on. There were many groups. There were the Essenes, there were Gnostics, there were all kinds of people. And what happened? Well, what mostly happens in history, the strong arms come in and plunder. And in matters of spirituality, wow, how can we let ourselves be plundered spiritually? Don't do that, right? It was too controversial, wasn't it, Yolanda? And so the church at the Council of Rome, AD 3, no, not AD, yeah, AD, Anno Domini, in the year of our Lord, and which is CE, Christian era. In 382 CE, 350 51 years after the death of Christ came, we're going to put this Bible together. Well, the people who did that had motives. We're going to make everybody believe what we want them to believe. And the Holy Roman Empire still controls people to this day through the long arm of religion, going all the way back to the 4th century. To this day, those bishops that were grabbing witches and sanctioning the killing of anyone that seemed like they were not with the status quo, that long arm has still reached down to today, because many Christians do not know that what they believe came from the Holy Roman Empire, not from God. Ooh. And you know what I love about it? Isn't that astounding, Robert? Isn't that something, Robert? I'll tell you, and I'll tell you something. You cannot keep the truth hidden. You cannot keep the truth from people. People will find it. I charge you. Go to pseudepigrapha.com. Just like I said, look up Pope Damascus. Look up the Council of Rome. Look up who decided in a small room what the Bible was going to be, and that's what the Bible's going to be, and everything else, we're going to burn it. Whoa. And guess what? Archaeology is our friend, because years later, here come the Dead Sea Scrolls. Years later, here come all these sacred texts. Years later, we're pulling them out of jars in the arid desert of Egypt and Mesopotamia and different places where these things were written. Oh, we're getting to the truth. Now, here's the question I will leave for you. The question I will leave for you is this. While I respect the Bible and I love it very much, I do not require men in pointy hats to determine what I should take as the Word of God. Now, that's just me. You can come to your own conclusions. I'm just here to bring information and to inspire you on your hero's quest. As for me and my household, no one is going to tell me. I do not need an intermediary, and I would offer that you do not require an intermediary to come to your own conclusions and your own decision about God, because God lives in every being. Source lives in every being. You're a divine being that can intuit truth and falsehood. And I would offer you, in this series on Christians you've been lied to, this Forbidden Knowledge series, this is not a forbidden knowledge series because people can't know it. It's forbidden because people don't want to know it. And there's people who have a vested interest in you not knowing it. And I say stand up for yourself. Study for yourself. Come to your own conclusions. And then come back and share them with us. Open your mind like a parachute. Go beyond the Bible. Read the Apocrypha. Read the Pseudepigrapha. Read the Book of Enoch. Why is it forbidden to you? If it is, why is it forbidden? You just have to start asking questions. Why? Because this is your soul. We're not talking about a baseball game. We're not talking about what you're going to wear. We're not talking about what you're going to eat for breakfast. We're talking about your soul. That's it for today. Coming to you from Meta, Mexico, baby flamingo. Please make this live stream available to see again on YouTube. Excellent information resource. Yes, this is staying on YouTube, both on the Christian Witches YouTube channel and the Valerie Love Kaisi YouTube channel, and it's on Facebook. It is in 3 places. It lives in 3 places. Ooh, Roberto, you just finished Thomas's Infancy Gospel of Thomas. And it's treacherous. Jesus was just killing people left and right, baby Jesus. Baby Jesus wasn't having it. He was chopping heads, baby. Baby Jesus was out of control, and they couldn't get him in control. They were like, "Baby Jesus, can you stop killing people?" that they would have your head spinning. I'm telling you, you'll be messaging me shortly. Beautiful Danielle, yay! Just Christianity, Catholicism is the most common yet. Amber, this really resonates with me. A perfect way to start my 40th birthday. Happy birthday, Amber! Happy birthday. Well, family, I love you. God bless you. Go look it up for yourself and let me know what you find. God bless you. Have a beautiful day. Mwah. Peace. Kaisi out. ValerieLove.com and ChristianWitches.com.